A previous proficient professional killer code-named Ladybug returns to work with a recently positive demeanor, where he is entrusted by his handler, Maria Creepy Crawly, to gather a briefcase on board a bullet prepare voyaging from Tokyo to Kyoto after her ordinary contact Carver is constrained to call out due to ailment. Unbeknownst to Ladybug, 3 other executioners are on board, hitmen brothers Tangerine and Lemon and misleadingly guiltless schoolgirl the Sovereign. Tangerine and Lemon have been contracted by White Passing, head of the world's biggest wrongdoing syndicate, who seized control of the Japanese black market sometime recently, having recouped the wrongdoing lord's seized child and the briefcase containing his $10 million emancipate. The brothers are conveying both to Kyoto. The Sovereign summons another professional killer, Yuichi Kimura, to the Prepare, having pushed his youthful child off a building. Within related the healing center prepared to wrap up the boy off. The Sovereign powers Kimura to participate with her arrange, fixing the briefcase and Kimura's weapon with explosives to murder White Passing. Taking the briefcase, Ladybug is constrained to murder another professional killer, the Wolf, who arrives looking for vindicate for the passings of his spouse and his whole cartel, harmed at their wedding. Figuring it out the briefcase is lost. The brothers discover White Death's child dead by harming. The ruler leads Tangerine to accept Ladybug as mindful, whereas Ladybug endeavors to arrange with Lemon but is constrained to repress him. Ladybug runs into the Wolf's expecting target, the Hornet, the poisoner who slaughtered his wedding, contracted to murder White Death's child. She cuts Ladybug with a syringe of boom-slang poison, but he infuses her as well. At that point spares himself with her, as it were measurements of anti-venom, and she passes on instep. Battling Tangerine to a stalemate, Ladybug tries to assist him persuade White Death's men that his child and the briefcase are secure. At that point kicks Tangerine off the Prepare. Suspicious of Kimura and the ruler, Lemon shoots Kimura but surrenders to a bottle of water sedated by Ladybug, and is shot by the Sovereign. Climbing back interior the Prepare, Tangerine finds his brother's body, and stands up to the ruler, but is lethally shot in a fight with Ladybug. Kimura's father, the senior, cheats the Prepare and uncovers himself as a previous Yakuza lieutenant, whose spouse and clan were murdered in White Death's rise to control. Guaranteeing his grandson's security by having the princes relate murdered, he and Ladybug discover Kimura and Lemon still lively, and they all get ready for the snare anticipating them. The Prepare arrives in Kyoto, and Ladybug is met by White Passing and his men. The Sovereign, uncovered to be White Death's displeased girl, tries to spur him into terminating Kimura's booby-trapped weapon, but he instep tells her she was never portion of his arrange. The White Passing uncovers that he contracted all the professional killers on board the Prepare as vindicate for the kill of his spouse. After Tangerine and Lemon slaughtered his men amid a work in Bolivia, his spouse was called to safeguard their child out of prison and was murdered by Carver, who implied to kill her spouse, and the specialist who was attending to spare his spouse was harmed by the Hornet, guaranteeing her passing by slaughtering the one individual who could have spared her, accusing the brothers, Carver, the Hornet and his possessed child. White Passing organized for all the professional killers, counting the Wolf and Ladybug, who unwittingly supplanted Carver on the Prepare to murder each other and his child. Sometime recently White Passing can murder Ladybug. The briefcase bomb is activated, thumping them both onto the Prepare, which Lemon sets back in movement. As the Prepare speeds out of control, the senior duels White Passing whereas Kimura and Ladybug battle off as cohorts. Lemon handles a hooligan off the Prepare into the stream underneath, and the Prepare wrecks, slamming into an adjacent town. Ladybug is held at gunpoint by White Passing. He endeavors to shoot Ladybug, but is slaughtered himself when Kimura's weapon detonates. Ladybug, Kimura, and his father are stood up to by the deadly Sovereign, who is run over by Lemon driving a truck carrying tangerines. Maria arrives to protect Ladybug, who has completely grasped a positive viewpoint on life.